All right, today we're going to talk about one of the most powerful, most automatic reactions our bodies have. It's that raw, instantaneous response we get to stress and danger. It's a survival mechanism that's literally hardwired into us, and we're going to break down exactly how it works. I mean, you've been there, right? That sudden jolt, that feeling where your body's been completely hijacked by something you can't control. So what is actually going on inside of you during those really intense moments? Think about it. You're driving and the car in front of you just slams on its brakes. Before you can even form a conscious thought, your foot is already hitting the brake, your heart feels like it's in your throat, and all your senses are just screaming. That split second, that's not you thinking. That's your body just reacting. Well, that feeling has a name. It's called the acute stress response, but you probably know it as the fight or flight response. It's this incredible, perfectly honed system that's designed for one single purpose: to keep you alive when your brain thinks you're in danger. So to really understand this thing, we've got to go way, way back, because this isn't some kind of modern glitch in our system. It's an ancient and, believe me, incredibly effective alarm system. Yeah, this system was not designed for your stressful inbox or rush hour traffic. It was forged in a time when danger was real, physical, and right in front of you. Picture one of our ancestors coming face to face with a saber-toothed tiger. They basically had two choices: fight for their life or run like heck. Their bodies needed to be primed for explosive action in a fraction of a second. And that is the legacy that's hardwired into our nervous system today. So where does this whole chain reaction even begin? Well, for that, we have to zoom in, way down into the tiny but super powerful command center deep inside our brain. Because it all kicks off with one single urgent signal. So meet the amygdala. The easiest way to think of it is as your brain's own personal smoke detector. It's constantly scanning everything you see, hear, and feel, looking for any sign of trouble. And the instant it thinks there's a threat, real or not, it doesn't hesitate. It just pulls the fire alarm. And that alarm signal goes straight to the hypothalamus. This is the command center. Once it gets that emergency alert from the amygdala, the hypothalamus is like, okay, go time. It immediately flips a switch and communicates with your whole body, getting it ready for a fight it thinks is just about to happen. Okay, so the alarm's been pulled, the command center's been alerted. What happens next? Well, the body doesn't just do one thing. It actually launches this really sophisticated two-wave attack to get you ready for whatever's coming. The first wave is just lightning fast. It's an immediate jolt of pure energy, and that's all thanks to adrenaline. It's about surviving the next few seconds. But if the threat doesn't just vanish, a second, slower wave kicks in, and that releases cortisol to keep you on high alert for a much longer time. It's a 1-2 punch: fast and slow, immediate and sustained. So let's look at that first wave, the really fast one. The hypothalamus basically slams on the gas pedal of your sympathetic nervous system. This sends a direct message through your nerves straight down to your adrenal glands. And the order is simple: dump as much epinephrine, you know it as adrenaline, into the bloodstream as possible, right now. And the effect of that adrenaline is, well, you feel it instantly, all over your body. Your heart starts pounding to pump more blood to your muscles. You start breathing faster, getting more oxygen. Your pupils get wider to let in more light. Your senses get sharper. Your body literally dumps sugar and fats into your blood for quick energy. Every single one of these changes is designed to make you better at one of two things: fighting or running. But what if the danger doesn't go away in a few seconds? What if it's still there? Well, that's when the second, slower wave takes over. It's this whole hormonal chain reaction. Basically, the hypothalamus sends one signal, which tells the pituitary gland to send another signal, which tells the adrenal glands their final order: release cortisol, the stress hormone. So if adrenaline is the sprinter, cortisol is the marathon runner. Its job is to keep your whole system revved up, keeping you on edge and making sure you have a steady supply of energy to deal with a threat that just won't go away. So we've seen all this wild chemistry happening inside of us. But what does it actually, look like on the outside? How does it translate into what we do? Well, it turns out it's not just about fighting or fleeing anymore. Today, we actually talk about 4 main responses. You've got fight, which is confronting the threat; flight, which is getting away from it; but there's also freeze, where you become completely immobile, kind of like a deer in headlights. And then there's a newer one called fawn, which is trying to appease the threat, often by people-pleasing. And get this, you don't pick one. In that split second, your brain does a lightning-fast calculation and picks what it thinks is your best shot at survival. It's completely automatic. We can talk about the science all day, but this quote really gets to the feeling of it. It describes this internal chaos, this feeling of being totally overwhelmed and disconnected from reality, while on the outside, you're trying to act like everything is perfectly fine. It's this profound internal storm that nobody else can see. So, what happens when the threat is finally gone, when the danger passes? Well, your body starts to pump the brakes. A different part of your nervous system takes over to calm things down. But it's not like flipping a switch. It can actually take 20 to 30 minutes for all those stress hormones to wash out of your system and for you to finally feel normal again. And all of this leads us to maybe the most important question of all. What happens when this ancient, prehistoric survival software is forced to run in our modern world? Well, that's where we get a major conflict. The mismatch is just huge. This system was designed for short bursts of intense, physical, life-or-death danger. A predator shows up, you react, and then it's over, one way or another. But our stressors today, they're usually psychological, they can last for weeks or months, and they aren't going to kill you, at least not physically. And here is the fundamental problem. Your amygdala, that little smoke detector in your brain, it can't tell the difference between a lion and a layoff. It just sees a threat and pulls the alarm. Your body unleashes this incredibly powerful survival response for situations that pose absolutely no physical danger to you whatsoever. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. We're walking around with a system that evolved to save us from a lion. What are the consequences to our health, to our minds, and to our bodies when that exact same system gets triggered over and over and over again by an email?